Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. Why was God so harsh with Ezekiel? The poor prophet was forced to lie on his left side for 390 days, his right side for 40 days, cook his food with cow dung. For what purpose? I realize this was supposed to be symbolic of the punishment of the people of Israel for their sins. It just seems so cruel. I'll agree with you. It does. In fact, one of the things that I've said jokingly is that one day when I get to heaven, I want to hug Ezekiel and just say, I'm so sorry. Ezekiel, who, by the way, is the only true exilic prophet other than Daniel, has a unique place in the Bible. He wasn't prophesying they're going into exile. He wasn't like Haggai saying, now that we've been in exile. Basically, he's saying, now that we are in exile. Daniel, Ezekiel, both living out their faith in the midst of the captivity. These two men, Ezekiel primary to the question, I think parallel themselves best to whom we know as Hosea the prophet. We call them lifestyle prophets. Yes, they said, thus saith the Lord, but the Lord also asked them to do certain things as an example to the people of God of what God was trying to communicate to them, a visual example. Jeremiah, not really a lifestyle prophet, but he was asked not to marry. And so you've got all these illustrations there. It does seem cruel, but at the same time, you have a man of God dedicated to the things of God, willing to do anything God asks him to do. We think it's cruel. Ezekiel might have considered it an honor. He might have considered it a blessing. Let me contemporize this before I close. I know many a missionary, many of individuals today that have been placed in internment camps and horrible situations for the sake of the gospel. And oftentimes people say, man, that must have been horrible. It must have been awful. I've heard them say it was some of the most liberating days of my life. The Spirit of God was with me so much. I felt more free in prison than I did walking in the streets. I think the key is we cannot attribute our emotions or feelings of what they might have been experiencing in contrast to what God was actually doing in their life. No matter what God calls us to do, no matter what it looks like on the outside, He always gives us the grace and His blessing when we're right in step with Him. Even if your name is Ezekiel and you're having to live through what he lived through. Great question. You have one, send it to askjeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at askjeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.